Hey there. Let's review some interesting situation after the day one in SailGP of New York. And as always, we're gonna look at it with a nerdy twist. Few things which I thought was really interesting and what maybe we're gonna look at. So first, race one over here. So here I have an agenda. That's what they call three up. Is like three persons on board, and I think that's really caught me off guard. I had no really idea that you can sail this boat with three persons. I don't think I have ever seen that in SailGP, and I think it was, judging by the sailors' reaction, it was, I think, very similar for some of the sailors. I think majority of them said that they never had an experience of that. So little bit limited information about what they have in the playbook, but just want to a little bit look at it. I was really fascinated by that one. Situation-wise, I don't think there was anything interesting in the first race. Then we're gonna see two interesting situation at the leeward gate. I think most of the situation that commenters are talk about Brazil, Australia, I don't think it was anything very controversial, but still we can just take a look at it, how it looked in the umpire app. But I think the second situation between USA, Denmark, and I think somebody else was behind there, like New Zealand. I think that was interesting. I think that's I mean, there's an interesting aspect in there, so I think we can discuss. So basically, USA protested and then got a penalty. So let's discuss that one. And race three, I did not actually review. So there was a bunch of protests around the leeward gate because basically it was a traffic jam. All the boats were stuck there. As you can see here in the boat, we're going to have a letter C. There was a current in play there. So yeah, I guess it was, there might be some situation. I took here the screenshot of the but I haven't reviewed, so we're going to maybe look at it together. But yeah, first, let's go back to the hi, Kijop. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, let's look first at the playbook for three up. So first of all, when you look at the skippers' reactions, I think a lot of them were basically saying that they haven't done it. Tom was talking about basically that they keep on changing, like how they do it. Also, I mean, they're one of the most experienced teams, and they did not really have a playbook. But let me see. I think I like the reaction from the German team. Let's listen.
Making sure you don't park at the leeward gate. That was the most painful experience you could have made today. Yeah, and some people did well. Found the pressure, managed the first jibe, and went down to the first gate without issues. And then you're lapping people, right? And you're kind of out of the game. You're ahead, and then it's easy. We had a good first one, but we parked big time in the last one. Down at the gate. So I hope for tomorrow a little more breeze, a little more stable conditions to get all people back on board and to get going into the normal procedure of racing.
And I guess it's been tough, like it's so tough out there with such a difficult race course, but then just like the boat handling in general, you're so sort of like head in the boat. Is that right?
You're missing hands, especially three up. You're missing hands. I was like, we had in the first race the last couple of maneuvers. You know, the wing trimmer was giving me the sheet, and I had my hand here, on the wheel, other hand on the flight, and then what do you do? Stop flying the boat or grabbing the sheet? And yeah, this is something we didn't play through quite a lot. So that was actually the first time we ever sailed three up. Interesting but cool as well. I liked it. I mean, overload for everyone, and it challenges the fleet as well.
And as a sailor, I guess like on a day like
So yeah, I think it was like pretty nice, cool reaction by Eric. Like, how do you do it? And that was again my first reaction when I just really saw that there was only three sailors. I thought my first reaction would be that you do need a grinder, so it should be like like permanently there. You do need flight, sorry, the wing controller, which also controls. There is a second hand there controlling actually twist and everything with the buttons, and then one on the sheet. I don't think there is a spare hand for the pepper grinders, and actually pepper grinders are pretty far. I don't think it's very easy to reach it. So my first reaction was that actually it's all on the helm. It's all on skipper that they have to fly it through with basically with the controls that they have on the wheel. And but I think they all had different approach, and I think I just see what we had there. But what basically Eric was saying, that he had one hand on the wheel so that he can steer, second hand on basically on the flight control, which is basically I do probably I assume that they said probably very difficult to actually fly and so turn the wheel for steering and also flying. I think it is maybe a bit tricky to do it with one hand. And then the wing trimmer was giving him a sheet, so he had to basically do it at the same time. But yeah, this is really, I think I find it fascinating. And I honestly, I just a little bit I'm kind of disappointed that they had only one race. So, and I think what I'm gonna probably do next, if you go to the inside SailGP, um, yeah, from the insides, you cannot see the replay immediately. That's the issue. You would need to wait next a few days to actually see the replay. So yeah, it comes here, as you can see, replay soon. So, and I missed watching it. So I'm gonna do another review when I'm planning actually just to watch all of the boats. Where do they have a player? Because actually you can see even I think on the first race I was just watching where the skipper has the hand, and you can actually see are they keeping it on the flight or not. But at least two things that I kind of noticed. I didn't take a screenshot, but I think in New Zealand, which I had the most long flight at the same time, I think Leo Takahashi was actually flight, but then he ran on the other side during the tax and he was grinding. You could see also that Spain here had actually the grinder, sorry, the flight controller sitting and flying, so it was not all on helm. Here, I think that was an interesting, basically, situation by the German that you can see here that. So first of all, of course, you notice that flight controller is leading his from his opening at the cockpit and grinding in front. But again, so at this moment, I guess then Eric skipper is flying. So because he has the hand there, but it's kind of like very loose there. So again, not much of the information there. I don't know how they do it. I think the only best playbook just to understand is to watch the basically the views from the boats and from the replay, and then it would be really interesting. Yeah, I think it is fascinating, but yeah, not anything at this moment to say. Let's jump now into the race two. I think there was a couple of situations, one at the Leeward Gate with Australia and Brazil. I think that was relatively straightforward. It's actually, I must say that it did not look that straightforward when you had a helicam, but when you had the umpire app, this was good. Oh, by the way, I think this is a good thing just to I'm accidentally just gotten here, but I think when we discuss a little bit later situation at the mark. So this is how the currents are. So big current further from the governor's island, smaller current there, and then turning current. But hold on a second, where is the I don't remember what was the configuration where the wind was coming from. So I think we'll see. But anyway, we'll just I think later on. I think the wind was the governor. This is where the wind is coming from against the current, I think. All right. Where was that situation with on the race one? This is, I believe, yeah, I think that's the situation where was with the Brazil. I think from Helicam, it did not look too bad. So here we have Australia and Brazil. I think Australia is coming as a lured boat. They are right away before actually getting into the zone. They, of course, they don't go too aggressively and don't love Brazil, so they allow them to be inside boat. But let's see how it plays out. So it looks like from here, difficult to say, but Brazil went inside overlapped. And actually, yeah, from this angle, you see it sort of that I think, in this angle, it could be this and that. It's difficult to say really if it was too tight turn for Brazil or not. Uh, and I think during the live replay, I even saw it maybe already only paid attention at this angle and it didn't really look too bad. But actually, when you look at the umpire app, I think that one looked pretty tight. Yeah, that's Brazil, Australia now coming. Let me make it a bit bigger. No, sorry, that's already the later in the race. Okay, here you can see clearly overlapped. Australia loves. Brazil does keep clear. Okay, now Australia opens. They come in. And from here, it really looked like much more tighter. Again, maybe the resolution is really not great on my side, but yeah, yeah, I think it is also considering that there's a light wind, so probably the proper course is not to do a too tight turn. You need to do a very, very kind of like a nice turn, not to come off the foil. So I don't think this one was any controversial or any discussion, but yeah. Actually, here it also really nicely shows here that Australia penalty, and it shows that when it's relative to Brazil, it shows how much it needs to drop back. So to be relative Brazil, but I think the second one is really interesting, and I think in drivers react, did USA team Taylor? He basically, where did he said? He just said that, yeah, that was a painful one that he wants to forget, and I really feel the pain of all the sailors being there at the leeward mark with the current. But I think that one was quite interesting because actually it was Taylor who protested and they got the penalty, and I think clearly Taylor was not on the page, like on the same page with umpires what's going on, and clearly also Nikolai also did not understand that he actually would be able to get the penalty against Taylor. And yeah, and I think honestly, I actually also, when I did not look at that situation, I was a little bit caught off guard. I was surprised, but then it all made sense when we looked at a little bit more closer. So let I think we're not gonna watch the whole situation because I think they've been there for like it's a race two, I think, right before the finish. So they've been sitting at the mark there like for the good minute or something like that. Um, on a second. That's the situation, I think. So I think it would be easier just to see it again from the whole station. So US over here, and they think that they have a mark room. Germany just faster, and I think this is a good tactic. That if you're faster, just sail around the boat. Now here it starts to be super painful situation. Let's go back. Yeah, wind is from here, mark is from here. Germany sailing around. USA was trying to go around here, but cannot do it. And I believe the current is this way. Rockwell here, New Zealand somewhere on the back. Let me show the. Yeah, so what happens is that USA thinks that they have the mark room, so they go super close and super slow. Current starts to push them around the mark. They want to do to avoid it, and basically, as in SailGP, the rules are that the mark is your is actually to sail not farther than the proper course. So it's actually a proper course. So like mark room. Yeah. So room to sail. Uh, yeah. Here I have. Is it? Mm, can you see it here? So yeah, basically that's where it is. How defined? Where is the window? Now it's gone. Uh, Hold on a second. The window went to another monitor. Okay, good. So mark room is room to sail not farther than the proper course to run the mark. So actually, technically, if they have the mark room, they can also even do the jibe. For example, if they're pushed with the current, their proper course is to maybe do a jibe and go there. So actually, in this light wind, their proper course could be quite massive. Because of needing also sometimes maybe after the jibe to sail higher. So technically, umpires would assume it very, very big. Anyway, so they are, of course, starting to turn, and then this boat goes away. And while you are sailing within your mark room, if you have the mark room, while you change the course within your proper course, you don't need to give room to other boat to keep clear, because you will be exonerated if you are sailing within your proper course. So if you want to see it, it's rule 40 something, 43 point yeah, 43.1b. So if you sail with it, you will be exonerated for breaking rule 16. So yeah, so they can basically turn as much as they need to be able to sail that proper course. Now they're going here. I believe here they're protesting the mark. By the way, I think they're doing the protest. And as you can see here, penalty USA. So basically, umpires call penalty USA, did not give the mark room, go behind Denmark. So actually in this situation, Denmark had the mark room. So how did we get to that situation that Denmark had the mark room? And I think there was a tiny moment that if you really look all the time in the umpire app, definitely as umpires, they saw it. But as I missed it as I was looking a little bit umpire app, little bit at the screen, and yeah, I did not see it. So, but then with the review, it was very clear. So let's go. So this is not, yeah, this is not yet to finish. So it's again slow parking, very probably painful. Is that, hold on a second. My bad. Is this, this is, I opened the race 3, I guess. Yeah, this is race 2. My bad. I opened the wrong one. Hey, come on. Now that's where the key moment comes there, and that's where also sailors were not on the same page. There we go. So as you can see now here, let me zoom in to here. So USA is coming well ahead of Denmark. I don't even see the Denmark now here. Swiss is coming somewhere here. Denmark coming fast. USA is getting into the zone now. So they are in the zone, and basically because USA and Denmark are not overlapped, Denmark is clear behind USA, so then boats are not overlapped. The boat that did not reach the zone at this moment shall give after the mark room. So Denmark seems to be need to give mark room. So very clear, and I think all the boats were on the same page with this understanding. So now, when we go further, USA is going right at the boundary of the zone, and over here it is very clearly that they are outside the zone. So now gone, and it's really marginally. It's so close. So of course, umpires see it, but basically I think USA did not know that they entered the zone. And now when USA enters the zone, boats are overlapped. So basically Switzerland and Denmark has the mark room at the zone. So but also interesting that if you look at how Denmark is sailing, they are going now to the yeah, here you have. So basically what happened is that again, USA entered the zone, Denmark was really far, they entered in the zone, but they exited the zone. And second time when they entered, they were overlapped. And what is interesting that I think Denmark is at this moment they could have protested if they really also thought that the USA, because clearly Denmark is now avoiding. They're coming over here and they're avoiding. So they would definitely know that if Nikolai would know, definitely he would press the protest button. It doesn't cost anything for him. It's either green or penalty on USA. So they they basically go this way, but the mark room is for Denmark. And because of the current, they keep on actually staying in the zone. And as long as in the zone, and as long as they don't actually cross, Denmark is not crossing, leaving the mark behind, mark room is for Denmark. Okay, then you see it's very slow and painful. USA moving there. Actually, even from here, it looks like they touched the mark, but I don't think they did in the real mark. Yeah, But listen, super painful. It's super painful just to be in this boat like that and again pushed by the current. Yeah, but yeah, interesting situation because it's again was a very, very small things, and I think both boats were not on the same page, but umpires really saw that the USA entered the zone, exited the zone. Cool. All right. There was a bunch of protests. Now I want to jump into the race three. I was a bunch of protests, but I must admit that I actually did not follow them all because I think there was not very clear. Not always you get the good zoom at the from the umpire up during the broadcast. So, but maybe we can now look at it and just see if there is anything that we can get in terms of the rules. So first was some France protesting 2055, I think. Was it already closer to the end then? Oh, yeah, I think they were just staying. So probably it is somewhere around here. So let's see. Yeah, that's what I want to say is that I think it's France and Germany. Yeah, it looks like windward, leeward there. Hold on a second. I lost. With all of those screens, I lost now the mouse. Yeah, hold on for a moment. I need to reconnect the. Okay, I think that should be working. So yeah, I think it was at race three. This one was windward, leeward on the France and Germany. I think it is clear. I would like to now. Let's see how it looks from the. Which one is that? This is race number three. Yeah, they kept on actually. That's the thing. I think they kept on zooming only on the boats which are leading, which was New Zealand at that time. So that's why I didn't think it's in the broadcast. We can look at it once again in the. Yeah. Anyway, I think it was very, very clear over here. If you look, Germany was coming here on port. Uh, jibes into starboard between Switzerland and France, and then needs to keep clear of France, and France goes lower. Yeah, again, I think if there is no way out for this boat to sort of like stick in between these boats, they need to go and just like go above them and keep, because they are basically keep clear all the way. Germany was port, 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 and then jibbed into the windward position of the of France. Yeah, so they all the time keep clear. Um, so what else there? Swiss got the penalty from GBR here in a very similar situation. Swiss. Ah, that's yeah, it's impossible to see, and I think if we want to, maybe if I want to see it, it has to be from the heli view. Um, then I would let me see that there is Australia protested, no penalty. Okay, yeah, yeah. I think I cannot really see it from here, I guess. Yeah, I would have to what I have to watch it. It's that's why I think probably did not really see it very well, because during the race the broadcast was mostly on the leading boat. Maybe over here. Ah, maybe now over here. Now I think we're at the right moment, right place. Let me. So Germany basically jibed from port that was into the now windward boat, and I think did not keep clear. So maybe the overlap there was also not broken, so that there is no rule 15. They look close, but also quite slow. Penalty Germany. Canada is just going fast around. Yeah, I think it was like such a painful race. They get into the zone, and I think they crashed also there. Okay, let's see if there was any view of the situation, why Switzerland got the penalty. So it looks like Swiss get. They are now outside the zone. Yeah, okay, so Swiss is now port boats. GBR is coming as a starboard. Yeah, Swiss is did not keep clear here. Okay, it's a port starboard, nothing extraordinary, and I think probably GBR was holding their course already for quite a while. So yeah, in this situation, the boat needs to, if you need to keep clear, you need to start doing it very, very early. So um, okay, that is clear. Then that was Australia protested some way here. There was no penalty. Maybe something here. Painful, painful. So yeah, Australia is now in the. Let me see. something happened there with Australia and Switzerland, but there was nothing. It was just no penalty. And then I would say that here Canada protest. Uh, No penalty, no penalty. Anyway, no penalty. Probably that one is not interesting. So anyway, that was the review for the first day. I think that was a quite interesting situation with the USA. Most interesting that they were not on the same page. That they did not, the sailors did not know. But yeah, mostly I'm super fascinated now just to look and see what are the ways of three persons flying, who is doing what. It's really multitasking. Crazy. All right. I think that's it. Gonna watch the remaining races today and see. Maybe we'll do the review of it later in the week. I think that's it for today. Take care.